Hi everyone, this is Stacy again. Hey, I wanted to share something with you guys. About a month or so ago, the viewership on my videos. Now, I have a small YouTube channel, and on the average, my videos usually get 250 to 300 views. But about a month or so ago, it dropped off to below 100 was what I was averaging, and I thought that perhaps people were just no longer interested in the Nevada trial, because that's really what I report on, is what's going on here. And as you guys can see, 250, 200, 250, where before, they were much higher, and then all of a sudden, a month ago, we went from, I went from 330, 340 views down to 89 views. And I would have a few that popped up over 100, but not very many. They were just really staying pretty low. And like I said, I really thought it was because, everybody had gotten over following the Nevada trial. But here's a funny part. Okay, so you can see, a week ago it was just getting really bad. I mean, it just totally dropped off to around 95 to 100 views. And that remained about the average. So it went from about 250 to 300 down to 100 or less. And I came across this video. This man here, Cliff High, he actually creates what is called the Webbot report, and where he's got a program that has these algorithms that go out there and pull in information off the internet, what's being talked about, and kind of predicts future events. And he brought out this video last month, warning to woo-woo Google's war against words. And I wanted to share this with you guys because I want to tell you what I did after I saw this video.
p.m. Sunday, December 4th, 2016. A quick little discussion here for people that are in the woo-woo business, and even the alternative media business in general, as well as what they are calling alt-right media. Google has redone their search algorithms for their presentation of results with the intent of servicing, as they say, sites that have trusted content. Now, I don't want to get into the details of it because it's a huge can of worms when you start getting into Google's algorithms for how they deal with search, how they deal with trusted sites, and all of this other sort of thing. There's a lot of machine learning involved, a lot of expert system stuff that goes on, and they are well within their rights to do all of this. Now, as the premier search engine, quasi-utility, one might say, at a global level, not just merely a country level, they have a certain responsibility to let their audience and their especially their advertisers know what's going on. So this particular discussion here relates to anybody that's advertising in what I would refer to as the woo-woo world, which is UFOs, officially denied stuff, totally unknown. Basically, if you're in woo-woo, you know it, and if you don't, and you question whether you are, you probably are. So anyway, if you're in the woo-woo business, you'll notice that, as I have, that the number of people visiting your pages, and therefore any advertising revenue hooked to that page, or any views to the content of that page and so on, are going to be down. The reason they're down is because Google has redone their search algorithm to service trusted sites, what they're calling trusted news. Their trust algorithms and how they determine this is a very complex subject, not going to be discussed here at the moment. What I wanted to say, though, was that since the abysmal performance of Hillary Clinton in the election, the media and everyone else is casting around blame like mad, and those institutions that are in the blame chain direction are doing everything they can to cover their ass. And so they've decided that alt-right or fake news has got to go. And so what they're doing is they've altered their algorithms for search. Now, Google's response to this is not to ban sites. It's not to even particularly lower your rating in their search engines. Rather, what it does appear to be is that if you're in these particular categories of the alt-right and then the woo-woo UFOs, officially denied, that sort of thing, which is attached to the alt-right, or if you're into the alternative media, which surrounds both of those areas, you'll notice that your page views are way down ever since the 9th of November. It appears in the last 7-8 days, maybe a little longer than that. Some changes were put into place that tightened it up a little bit. This is the way Google does things. They don't just come on in and flip switches, so to speak. They come on in and ratchet down a little bit, see how it works, ratchet down a little more, see how it works. So they've got their own internal feedback loops to prevent things from getting out of whack. Because they easily could, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff with machine learning and expert system technology with that has the potential of just spinning out of control on its own, as they all do. So what they've done in the search engine world is to queue up presentations that favor their version of trusted sources. So in the background, they may be delivering their unfiltered search the way that they would normally do it. And in my way of thinking, what they've done is they've put a display filter on that accommodates their need to service the trusted sources. So you'll notice that in a search that was done prior to the election here in the USA pop, that might have yielded what they consider to be fake news, and it would have popped that up in the first 10, so within the top 10 results, may have included frequently places like Twitter, less so Instagram, Steemit, Reddit, a few of these other social media, the minor social media. And now that same search executed today, and I've done this, I don't have a screenshot of the results from prior to the election, but because of the nature of my work, I have to repeatedly perform searches in order to build up particular kinds of databases, and as a result of which I piggyback on Google. Why should I do it all myself? And as a result of which I know that these searches have changed. Now they should change, there's no question about that. A search should change with the frequency of the updating of the Google database that provides the results for that search. However, it shouldn't change so much that 7 or 8 out of the top 10 are no longer there. And that 7 or 8 include the major, minor social media such as Twitter, Reddit, and Steemit. And they're just gone. They're just replaced. So it shouldn't be that wholesale that things should have shifted in this minor period of time of the, I think it was 48 days, 49 days between these two searches. And the search is innocuous. It's not in an area of a lot of hotbed of activity, but it is in an area, and the search was phrased such that you would bring up the alt-right and or woo-woo sites in the top 50 search results back before the election, and now that's not the case. So if you're in the woo-woo world, if you're in the alt media world that is in some way linguistically connected to the alt-right, or you've used some of the same words, you may find yourself in a situation where your hits on your page are down appreciably, over 18-20%. And that's so far. And as I say, Google likes to ratchet these things down over time rather than just simply flip a switch when they think the algorithm works.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you guys is Cliff is explaining why some of the alternative media sites are saying that their viewership is down. And I don't really consider myself alternative media. I'm just a person that shares information I just didn't think that this would pertain to me. But I tested it. This is what I did. So starting this a week ago, what I started to do is I started adding. Let me just show you guys what I did. Because I know that search engines, a lot of times it's based on words, right? Let me go to this and I'll show you what I did. Bear with me, guys. Okay, this is where I started to see an increase in viewership. Okay, and this is what I did. Down here in this part where I put the guys' names, because this is what the video is, pertaining to, what I started to do was I put in Fox News, CNN, and fake news. That's what I did. And sure enough, my viewership jumped up a little bit. And I did this, I continue to do this, I'll put in Fox News, CNN News, MSNBC, ABC, and I always throw in the fake news. And my viewership started to increase. But the other day, what I did, because my videos would show up on Google search, but, probably on the second or third page. But what I did the other day with this video here, I did something different. I put numbers in the front of the subject line, okay? And lo and behold, when I go to the regular search engine that I use, the first thing that popped up was my listing, was my video. I just copy and pasted Judge Navarre dismiss count 3, and it shows up. Now, the others below me, you can see other stuff shows up too, but my videos, if I use numbers, the numerical order, I start putting the date of my post, it changed where my video would show up in the Google search. My previous videos, not so much. So what this tells me is their algorithm doesn't include, they can't change the date you put a video out. They can alter the search, depending on the site it's coming from and stuff like that. If you search Bundy trial, the first thing, this is what's so funny, is Oregon Live will come up, NPR, OPB, CNN, HCN, the Review Journal. Do you see all these old left sites come up first? CBS News, RGJ, PBS. Okay, these are all the alt lefts. And if you go here, which most people do, they'll click on this, and all of these articles are not really favorable to the Bundys or the men's plight that they're in right now. And you can go, let's go to the 4th page of searches. And here you go, you got the Guardian, Patch.com, the New York Daily News, Seattle Times, the Wildlife News. They're still leftists. And then you start to get the Fox News. Go to page 5, see if any of the right stuff starts coming up. Daily Kiosk, Jezebel, Raw Story, Bearing Arms, Lou Rockwell. Do you see here? You're still getting LA Times. Okay, so now you're getting the right alternative news mixed in with the left, but I'm already on page 5, and I've managed to find a way to appear on the search engine again on Google simply by putting the date. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. And maybe if more people try it and are successful, then we can share it with other people too. To continue to get our opinions and what's going on in this Bundy case, continue to get it out there. Because right now the message is being stifled. They want to control the narrative. And by changing this algorithm, putting all these leftist views, articles, and videos up first, people aren't going to get to page 5 and 6 to hear our stuff. So that's all I have, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
When do we want it? Now.